The Majority Chief Whip, Frank DOMPREH, has underscored the importance of Europe to take its relations with Africa serious as Africa gravitates towards it naturally. Mr. DOMPREH expressed this sentiment when he attended a conference held in Berlin this month, which brought together representatives from the African continent and Europe.
Days of civilization, our first point of call have been to gravitate towards our liberals. So Europe, particularly Western Europe, would always be, the Western world will always be the point that we would want to identify with. I want to be frank here. I think that somewhere along history, our natural partners, which is Europe and the Western world, became passive in the geopolitics of the world, especially in terms of your relation to Africa. A bit of passive and forgive me, sitting on the fence. So, for want of a better word, some bad boys came to take over.
He also noted that since Europe created a vacuum with its relations with Africa, Russia and China had to come in to fill it, building huge edifice on the continent.
Any time in history that the Western world goes quiet, or in their relation in the scheme of things to any part of Africa, Russia and China takes over. That has been the situation. So suddenly China takes over, they're building an airport, they're building huge infrastructures that we've never seen before. Then all of a sudden, our natural allies, speaking in the context of as an African, our natural allies woke up. So the US of A passed the Builders Act, voted huge sums of money to Africa. It wasn't ordinary. It was motivated because of the Chinese. Then we have Europe. Then we have China, Russia, for the first time, bringing all African heads of state together to meet at Moscow. It wasn't ordinary. And all the other parts of the world now focusing on Africa. So what am I saying? I'm saying that when you create a vacuum, the vacuum must be filled. I think going forward, we need a clarity of reasoning. We shouldn't be talking about too many things at the same time. As Africans, we should know what exactly we want. What is it we want? Is it technology transfer? And our colleague has talked about the energy transition, which has made Africa extremely important because of the mineral deposit that we have, which will be used in the building of solar panels and all the likes. So as a legislator, going back home, and I'm praying this is going to be my request to CAS, because of the attrition rate we have back home, MPs, you are there today, tomorrow you're not there. Because there's expectation, it is that you are supposed to deliver from A to Z, all manner of things, payment of school fees, funeral, and all that. So we get tired, fatigued, and then we fall out. But to maintain what I call institutional memory, is it possible that CAS will have an eye on some of us here who will become the core team to bring in other people to maintain that institutional memory? And these are going to be the people who will stage the advocacy in this new geopolitical rivalry that we are having in the world. I think if we're able to do this, we will ultimately be making the meaningful impact.
2022 Berlin Conference on the theme, Africa and Europe in the Age of a New Geopolitical Rivalry and How to Improve the Bilateral Cooperation, brought together representatives across the African continent and Europe. The EU plans to invest 150 billion euros from the public and private funds in Africa by 2030, as Europe aims to become Africa's strongest partner, and the need for African and European decision makers to adapt their cooperation to respond to challenges together now and in the future.